Does loyalty exist in football? It's a question that I think we all know the answer to. But anyway, let's take a look at 5 players who went on to win the Premier League for the rivals of the clubs they were once heroes at. Robin van Persie. When Robin van Persie sold his soul to the Red Devil, he effectively set a flame to the previous 8 years of life he'd carved out for himself in North London. Arriving at Arsenal in May 2004, 2 days after the Gunners had lifted the title on an unbeaten season. As we all know, that's been their last Premier League crown. Lads, even Nathan Dyer's lifted the title more recently than ye. The Dutchman spent 8 seasons at the club, and while he no doubt became best friends with the medical staff, did manage to score 132 goals in 278 games. Just a shame he never actually managed to win anything. And so in the summer of 2012 he was off. With a year left in his contract, he signed on the dotted line for the club who Arsenal had once enjoyed such fierce battles with. Sure, in his first season pizzas were getting chucked at old men and captains were trying to strangle each other in the tunnel, but in his last season he just watched United stick 8 past a Gunners backline comprised of the defensive delights of Carl Jenkinson and Armand Traore. It wasn't all sunshine and rainbows for him at Old Trafford either. Let's not talk about the Scotsman who banned ketchup from the canteen, a crime seemingly punishable by death judging by the reaction of the players. But in his first season, Van Persie's decision was justified, smacking in 30 goals as he won his first league title at the age of 29. Michael Owen. Yeah, Michael Owen has a Premier League medal in his locker, so you might say the decision was vindicated. At what price though? The moment the press released the image of Owen standing at Old Trafford with a big grin smacked across his face, you could almost have heard any lingering affection Liverpool fans may have had for him disappear. To be fair, Liverpool fans were always a little tetchy with Owen after his move to Real Madrid in 2004, but his decision to join Manchester United 5 years later? Unforgivable. He signed for the Red Devils as a free agent on a pay-as-you-play deal. Considering he only played 31 league games over 3 seasons, I'd say by the end of it he was half thinking about picking up a night shift at Tesco to make ends meet. The 10-11 campaign was the year he won the league, contributing with 11 appearances and 2 goals. Sol Campbell. To this day, there's certain areas of North London Sol Campbell should probably steer clear of. Such is the vitriol that surrounded his move from Tottenham to Arsenal in 2001. The Spurs captain had spent 9 seasons at White Hart Lane, making over 300 appearances, and after running down his contract, and despite assurances that he would stay, he was surprisingly unveiled at Highbury. He went on to win 2 league titles in his 5 seasons at the club, the first in his debut season, and the second during the invincible campaign of 03-04. Alan Smith. You couldn't have found a bigger Leeds United idol than Alan Smith during the 03-04 season. The club may have been in total freefall, but the young England international spearheading the attack bled the colours of Leeds United. He'd supported them all his life and cried his eyes out when they were relegated. Leeds fans loved him and he loved them. And then he ruined it all by jumping ship to Man United, the club he said he'd never play for. The £7 million man didn't have the best of times at Old Trafford. Sir Alex Ferguson was rummaging through his drawer for Roy Keane replacements and he even chucked Alan Smith into midfield, a decision that made 0 sense for all concerned. Let's not forget John Arnorisa almost blew this man's leg back to Leeds, dislocating his ankle and breaking the actual leg, which sidelined him for pretty much a year. He did fall 1 game short of the 10 appearances needed to qualify for a Premier League winners medal during the 06-07 season, but the league decided to give him one anyway. Considering the lad had been finding it difficult to even walk up the stairs, he needed a break. Well, a different kind of break at least. Cesc Fabregas. Okay, so this one's a bit harsh. Unlike Van Persie, Fabregas was actually around at Highbury when they were winning things. He just didn't get to play a single minute when they actually won the league, and so he got sick of finishing 10 to 15 points off the pace every season after about 7 years and returned to Barcelona. It was probably a bit too soon. Xavi and Andres Iniesta were still very much alive and well, even if their hairline said otherwise, and so he was up for sale in 2014. So Arsenal had first dibs on taking the Spaniard back to England. But no, apparently Wenger had enough in reserve and allowed Chelsea to swoop in and sign the man, despite Fabregas having declared just 3 years earlier that he would never play for another English club. 2 league titles later, do you think he's bothered about what he said in the past? Very doubtful. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe.